15 minutes.
Alright, talk about the day Amelia was born.
First we had sex.
First we had sex.
It was really good sex.
Yeah,
I think it was in when you're... Was it in Miami or was it in...
No. No, it was in Key West.
Okay.
We were stationed in Key West. And we were actually in Key West.
Or, oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
We were in Key West.
Not going to say who was down, but...
Okay. Okay.
Do we have to start all over again?
No, just keep going. And then
we went to Miami.
Yeah, because we had to see a specialist because my placenta was swollen.
And he told us some crap that it was going to be 99% full term.
No, well, he said that he was 99% sure that there wasn't going to be an issue, and if there was, it would be a minor genetic flaw, like an extra finger,
right, okay, like
or
that
an extra toe.
Minor genetic flaw.
And then we moved to Maryland.
No.
Yeah.
I go to Mayport for dry dock. Get orders for school.
Yeah. Then we go out to Maryland.
Then we move to Maryland. Which, by the way, Key West housing sucks.
Okay. And that's not relevant. Then we moved to Maryland.
We moved to Maryland, and then we had it was your aunt's birthday party.
Yeah, and then I started having pains.
No. We were having a good time at your aunt's house.
And then I told you I was having pains, and you were like, "Oh, you're being a hypochondriac again."
You said that you had to poop really bad. You had really bad gas.
No, I said that my stomach was hurting.
Yeah, because you probably ate something bad.
That's not what it was, obviously.
No kidding, all right?
Because I had
He's telling a story here. I'm telling a story. So, we go home, we leave. What time we left around like 12, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we left late.
Around 12.
And then we get home.
Go home.
And you're like, "Hey, can I?" And I'm like, "No."
I shot down on that one. But anyway, so I fall asleep. You start tossing and turning.
And I'm getting up and going to the bathroom every couple of minutes.
Hold on. Who's telling the story here? I'm
helping you tell a story because you tell some long-ass stories.
Well, how much time I got left?
14 minutes. Let's
wrap it up, B.
Okay.
So, on a serious note, you started getting up.
Yeah, and then I asked my mom to go get me, like...
Well, you started telling me that you had, like, really bad gas.
Well, it was coming and going. No, it was coming and going. It was like pains, sharp pains that would come, and it was all across my lower pelvis into my back, and then they would come and go. And I guess they were contractions, but I didn't know at the time because I didn't assume that they were contractions.
Your mentality at that point in time was you thought it was really bad gas.
Yeah, and my mom went to go get me
she
stuff.
Went to go to CVS for the 24-hour CVS to get you some gas X and all that. Meanwhile, while she's gone, you're running back and forth.
Yeah.
Something just told me to time it. And it was every 4 to 6 minutes. You would go to the bathroom, nothing would happen, you come back to bed. You lay down.
And I was like shaking really bad too.
6 minutes later, you would get up and run back.
Yeah.
So it was every 4 to 6 minutes you were running back and forth. And I kept saying, they're contractions. They're contractions. No, they're not. No, they're not. It's gas.
I was in denial, though. Because I didn't... And then one time I went to the bathroom.
It was way too soon. Then you go to the bathroom and you come back into the bedroom and tell me that there's something wrong. And I'm like, what's wrong? And you're like, there's something in my vagina that shouldn't be. Needless to say...
graphic.
I'm just telling you how the way you told me. Needless to say that at that point in time, that was because Amelia was already presenting herself.
No, I think the bag dropped first, because normally in placenta abruptions,
you never broke water.
Well, yeah, but
she was starting to present. She became breech.
Well, I know, but normally when
her bag got stuck.
Yeah, normally when you have a placenta abruption, you bleed a lot, and I didn't bleed at all.
No,
so something was blocking that. I don't know how all that works. I don't want to know.
Well, either way, that's when...
Then you made me get dressed.
I threw my sweatpants and my sweatshirt at you and told you, get dressed. You told me no.
And then you made me get dressed.
We're going to the hospital. Your mother is freaking out.
No, she didn't really think it was a big deal at first. And then we're in your car, and I'm like kicking and punching everything and screaming. I remember being like,
95.
why am I feeling like this? Why does this hurt so bad? And they're like, I'm getting to the hospital as fast as I can.
I'm doing 95 miles an hour. By the way, Anne Arundel County Police, do not try to ticket me for this because this is over 2 years ago.
No one's going to try and ticket you.
Limitations is not over yet, but I was doing 95 down 97.
And it was raining.
In the rain with a pregnant woman in labor.
And then we get there, and and I'm still convinced it's just gas. And the lady's like, "Oh, are you pregnant?
Are you pregnant? Oh, go to obstetric go to maternity."
I'm like, no.
No. Why are we going to maternity?
And then they wheel me up there, and then they try to take an ultrasound, and the machine doesn't work, and I'm in so much pain. I mean, the pain is the worst pain ever. There's no way to describe it. And then the attending doctor comes in, and she takes one look.
This is the funniest part, like that, because at this time I've already stepped out into the hallway to call your mother. When the attending comes in, takes a look at you.
Her eyes bugged out of her head when she like looked between my legs.
Bugged out of her head. She ran out into the hallway and yelled to the nurse on call, "Get obstetrics down here. Call a code. We're having a baby." At that point in time, I'm standing there on the phone with your mother. My mouth just dropped because I didn't realize what was going on, and I didn't figure it was us.
Well, I was at 26 weeks, so you didn't really think, I was going to have a baby.
But then I put 2 and 2 together.
Did we really think
we're the only ones in maternity at the time, and we're the ones having the baby. And that's when I told your mother, "Oh shit, get the fuck down here, we're having a baby."
Yeah.
And she was like, no, it can't be like that. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure she has no choice. This one's coming whether we like it or not.
Yeah, way too early, but happens.
Now the better part gets to when we get downstairs to the operating room, because we're going to do the emergency C-section.
And I'm freaking out. Well, the doctor gave me an option of doing a C-section versus a vaginal birth. But then she said giving birth...
shouldn't even have been given.
Well, they have to, I guess, because to free up their chance of...
liability.
Their chance of a malpractice suit.
So we're down there, and I'm trying to make the best of it.
I'm still screaming.
She's screaming. The little anesthesiologist is trying to put the spinal tap in when I guess a contraction happened, and the loudmouth here holding the camera rolls onto her back just as the anesthesiologist slides the needle in, and he just barely holds her and gets her from shoving a 3-inch long needle into her spine, paralyzing her. Tells her, "Ma'am, don't move. You have a needle in your back." At that point in time, said person holding camera as of now looks at him and goes, "You can go fuck yourself. I'm getting up and leaving." At that point in time,
I was in a lot of pain. At that point
in time, said anesthesiologist,
the nurse said it was like getting shot. That's the type of pain I was in, because a placenta abruption is worse, more pain than regular childbirth.
It must have put some pain and nastiness in the anesthesiologist, because he pulled the spinal tap out and said, "I'll put her under." At that point, you went night-night, and they kicked me out of the room. Yeah,
while they were putting me under, I wasn't asleep yet. They were inserting a catheter, and I didn't know what they were doing, so I was like, "What are you doing?" Then that's all I remember. And then
you went night-night. I was supposed to come back in, but I never did. They never got me. I'm sitting out in the waiting room in recovery, basically.
And then 5 a.m. on the dot.
3 nurses cracking jokes and all that, having a good old time while somebody's getting their belly cut open. 5 o'clock on the dot, Miss Amelia arrived. As the scariest part about this is as they wheeled her through, Samantha hadn't come out of the operating room yet. The doctor came over to me and said, 5 o'clock, she's here. The first question out of my mouth was, is she breathing?
That's my first question too when I woke up. I said, is she alive?
Is she breathing? And the doctor said to me, yes, she took a breath. Will you follow us up to the NICU, the neonatal ICU? Kevin was her nurse.
Kevin was awesome. He was a good nurse.
He was the best, by far the best nurse that we ever had. Amelia never gave him any problems. There was a couple nurses she did not like. She'd always make her little monitor go off and give him a bad night. Kevin, she never messed with Kevin. She absolutely loved him. He was a good guy.
Well, we had a good experience anyway.
By
we were
far,
in a really good
NICU.
We were in a really good NICU.
Anne Arundel Medical Center
It's
in
awesome.
Annapolis. Their NICU is the best.
And
80
all that I remember,
80 plus days.
Yeah.
With a well-trained staff, great group of people.
And some of the problems she had in there. Well, she needed breathing assistance, obviously, feeding assistance. She had that heart issue. Yeah, she had the lights for jaundice.
She had a PDA.
Yeah, with her heart and
parental duct unit or parental duct artery.
And they had to use 3 rounds of medicine to close it, and they were afraid it wasn't going to close, so she almost had surgery at Johns Hopkins.
I'm so glad that didn't happen. I'm so glad that PDA closed.
And then that was her really major issue, other than her breathing problems, and then her braiding a lot, and
yeah, the braiding. That one time she turned blue.
Weight gain was an issue. She was 1 pound 9 ounces when she was born, and 13 inches, and it took her a while to gain weight.
80 days in the hospital, $215,000 later.
Yeah, she's an expensive baby.
2 years, and we're still going good.
Yeah, she hasn't had any issues. We went to 1 million specialist appointments after she left, and she hasn't had any major issues, luckily. I mean, we're still on the lookout just in case, but she's been doing good so far. And probably the worst part of being in a NICU was not being able to hold her whenever we wanted, or when her alarms would go off and there's 1 million different tubes she was hooked up to at first, and tubes and wires,
and running in and out.
Yeah. So it was a difficult experience, but she's here. So, and
you learn to grow as a parent, watching your child struggle. And
it's a really difficult experience, but I wouldn't wish that experience on anybody, because it's really hard. No one should ever have to watch her baby struggle to breathe and not, have a feeding tube shoved down their throat. No one should ever have to see that. You should be thankful your baby is born full term and healthy, and I'm going to shut this off now because we're running out of time. So happy Prematurity Awareness Month, because November, in case you didn't know, Ryan Bosley, is Prematurity Awareness Month.
pretty sure if they're living through it. I'm already aware of it.